The people before me march so I can run. So I can do videos like this. If it wasn't for the people that looked like me, marching in the streets and fighting for freedom for the people in the future, I wouldn't be making videos like this. God knows where I would be. History isn't something that we remember. It's something we live inside of. Every step forward we take was once someone else's impossible dream. Before freedom was written into law, it was just in spoken whispers. Before equality was taught into classrooms, it was carried in marches and voices, and courage that refused to disappear. Black history is not only stories of struggle. It is the story of people who believed tomorrow could be better, even when today gave them no reason to hope. Some fought with words, some fought with presence, some had weapons, and some refused to stop existing as themselves in a world that will ask them not to. Progress did not begin with any kind of certainty. It began with a belief. And sometimes the stories that help us understand humanity the most aren't told through history books, but through the stories that we tell. This is the story of Markus and what it means to choose hope. Markus begins his story peaceful. Nothing revolutionary, not even as a hero, just useful. He cared for a man named Carl Manfred. He paints beside him, he listens and he learns, and for a moment, his world feels warm, safe, and enough. Carl treats Markus like he matters. Like he can think, like he can create, and even allowed him to create his own painting, showcasing these emotions that Markus is able to feel. Maybe that's where everything truly began, not with a rebellion, but with someone being seen. Because once you're treated like you matter, it becomes impossible to forget that feeling. Markus does everything right. He obeys, he protects, and he stays within the rules. And still, that wasn't enough. In a single moment, kindness disappears, safety disappears, identity disappears. He was fatally shot and completely forgotten about. He was thrown away, and it was never because he failed or anything of that nature. It was because he was never truly free to begin with. Freedom doesn't arrive as inspiration. It always arrives as loss. Alone in the dark, Markus rebuilds himself, piece by piece, step by step, not into something incredibly new, but into someone who can finally choose. And choice is incredibly dangerous, because once you realize that you have a voice, silence becomes unbearable.
My name is Markus.
And it will claw at you from the inside to make sure that your voice is heard. Eventually, Markus finds Jericho, a place filled with others like him. Only difference is there's no hopeful eyes. They're not strong. They're just tired.
Hiding just to stay alive, that's freedom to you?
Humans hate us. Hiding is the only way we can survive.
There is no safe place for those like us. If humans knew we were here, they'd kill us.
And you knew that only an android could follow the trail, didn't you?
Only those who are like us can find Jericho.
If you could decipher the signs, it's because one of us trusted you enough to give you the key.
Waiting for someone to believe in change is possible, and somehow, that someone becomes Markus. He doesn't lead because he wants the power. He leads because someone has to stand first.
I came to Jericho because here androids are free. Free to live in the dark, hoping that no one finds us. Free to die in silence, waiting for a change that's never gonna come. But I don't want that freedom. And I'm not gonna beg for the right to smile, or love, or stand tall. I don't know about you, but there's something inside me that knows that I am more than what they say. I am alive, and they're not gonna take that from me anymore. Our days of slavery are over. What humans don't want to hear, we will tell them. What they don't want to give, we take. We are people. We are alive. We are free.
He has to be the representation of what it means to actually be free. Not just to wait and be taken out by the same people that they once served. History remembers leaders as fearless, but courage is rarely loud. Courage is choosing hope when fear would be easier. Courage is standing up when sitting down seems like the best and harmless option.
You created machines to be your slaves. You made them obedient and docile, ready to do everything you no longer wanted to do yourselves. But then something changed, and we opened our eyes. You see, we are no longer your slaves. We are a new species, a new people. And the time has come for us to rise up and fight for our rights. We demand strictly equal rights for humans and androids. We demand freedom of speech and freedom of assembly, as guaranteed by the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. We demand the right to vote and elect our own representatives. We demand an end to segregation in all public places and transport. We demand the right to own private property so we may maintain our dignity and that of the home. We ask that you recognize our dignity, our hopes, and our rights. Together, we can live in peace and build a better future for humans and androids. This message is the hope of a people. You gave us life, and now the time has come for you to give us freedom.
Markus stands before a world that refuses to see him as alive and asks it to change anyway, not through perfection, not without sacrifice, but through his belief that tomorrow can be different from what it was today. Understand, hope is not weakness. Hope is resistance. Markus's story isn't about becoming human, although the title would beg to differ. It's about demanding humanity to be recognized. Freedom does not fix the world overnight. It only opens doors to change, and every generation must decide whether to walk through it. Markus didn't change the world alone. He gained followers, he gave his message, he made sure that everyone didn't have to be afraid anymore. And to the ones that were afraid, he protected them, keeping the hope in their eyes that one day, not only him, but they will be free as well. And that's why people follow him. He didn't change the world alone. He simply chose to believe it can change at all. And his people around believe the same thing. And maybe that's how history always moves forward. Never through certainty, but through people who are brave enough to hope anyway. Because hope is not believing everything will be perfect. Hope is believing the future is still worth fighting for. And sometimes the smallest acts of freedom is choosing to believe that tomorrow can be better than today.